The question that is now being asked, were lapses in intelligence a factor in this attack? Could authorities have done something more to prevent it? I want to bring in Republican Senator Dan Coats of Indiana. He is a member of the Select Committee on Intelligence. He's joining us now from Capitol Hill. Senator, thanks so much for being with us. And perhaps you can shed some light on this. We've learned now that the FBI is looking at possible ties between the shooter, Syed Rizwan Farouk, and a radicalized group. Is this something that intelligence should have picked up on? Was this a failure?
Our biggest concern has been groups that are self-radicalized, that are sleeper cells. We have a number of cases, many cases, where the FBI is in surveillance, individuals that we are attempting to watch to make sure they're not going to do an evil act like what happened in San Bernardino. But we can't, we're almost overwhelmed in terms of providing the necessary surveillance. We've compromised some tools, frankly, which a number of us on the Intelligence Committee opposed, but unfortunately we lost those tools that would give us the opportunity to better find out what these connections were, not after the attack, but hopefully before, so that we could prevent that. So I think Congress has some work to do, and the administration has some work to do to beef up and provide the resources to both the FBI and our intelligence agencies to hopefully prevent these types of things. But they're out there, and it's a reality that we have to deal with.
Senator, when you talk about tools that you no longer have, are you talking about the Obama administration's adjustments to really the degrees of information and communications that they are able to really seek from people in the U.S.?
Yes, I am. And what we're finding out here post-mortem, those tools are reaching back several years, now to even 2012. We've compromised that reach back to 2 years under this plan that was supported not only by the President, but by several members of, enough members of Congress to pass this. Also, the ability to get this information very quickly. Think about Boston. We used that ability to track a phone number which allowed us to learn that that person was not talking to a foreign terrorist, and the threat that we thought that was going to take place in New York we could eliminate. So it is a tool that can be very helpful in times of both quickly learning whether or not something else is going to happen, and also giving us the information that who is talking to terrorists, what are they saying. And this is not a breach of people's privacy. If you're talking to a foreign terrorist, this tool can be very helpful. If you're talking to your grandmother or a friend,
I'm sorry to interrupt you on this, Senator, because I want to pin this down. Do you have definitive evidence that because of some of those adjustments in surveillance, that is the reason why clues were missed here in this specific case? Okay.
No, we don't. It is one of many tools that we have. The question is, should we be compromising ourselves and putting ourselves at more of a disadvantage in learning these kinds of things? And I think this is something that Congress and the executive branch has to re-examine based on the votes and the mischaracterization of how these tools were used. They are not used to invade anybody's personal privacy. They're used to find out if they're talking to people who are known terrorists.
Okay, and I do want to ask you about something that Senator Lindsey Graham said. He raised questions about the marriage of this husband and wife team. Let's listen.
Is there any evidence that this marriage was arranged by a terrorist organization or terrorist operative, or was it just a meeting on the internet?
I don't know the answer to that yet.
Do you agree with me that if it was arranged by a terrorist operative or organization, that is a game changer?
It would be a very important thing to know.
So you, as a member of the Intel Committee, do you think that this was a marriage arranged by terrorist leaders? And if so, what are the ramifications beyond this of that?
Well, there were ifs in that statement, and we don't know for sure whether this was the case, but I agree, and I think our intelligence community would agree, that if it is a arranged effort through a terrorist organization to create the situation where it looks like this is a normal couple trying to have children, raise their children as a family, be responsible citizens, that is just yet another detriment to our ability to detect something that's happening here. A lot of people have watched 24 and Homeland and so forth, and so we're aware of the fact that people are whether they're citizens of the United States that have been self-radicalized or whether they are connecting through social media with ISIL. They pose a threat to us. And I think the more we can learn about their methods and tactics, the better chance we have of trying to prevent these things from happening.
Senator Dan Coats, we really appreciate your time.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.